Hello everybody, GL1 here. Welcome to my online toy museum. And today I'm going to talk to you about the Jurassic World Fierce Changers. They are fierce. So first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce you to the Jurassic World versions that don't change. So this is Giganotosaurus, and this is actually the smaller Giganotosaurus toy. It's part of the roarosaurs, so they roar. So really long roar. So that's the great thing about this Giganotosaurus. It has such a long, angry roar. It's just so angry. And I painted this toy. This came, the teeth were just the green color and the mouth was all green. So I painted that. I painted that red. I painted this, this part here red to make it look much more realistic. And I painted the toenails red. Those were green, and the fingernails. So it looks a lot better. Well, so anyway, that's Giganotosaurus, and this is hard to say, Nossutoceratops, right? All right, so you have this guy here, which, we've seen recently on some of the ceratopsian episodes. And what they did with these fierce changers is you can combine these, right, into this toy here. Now, the way it looks to me, I got these clearance on Amazon. It looks to me like nobody really likes them or appreciates them because they pretty much have been on clearance right from the start. So you can get a really incredible deal on them. But they are, I think, really great toys. It's a shame maybe that people aren't appreciating them. It's a very strong, durable feeling plastic. They're not like a hard, clinky kind of plastic. They have some give to them, so they're not going to break easily. And I love the way that the the Nossutoceratops has the horns that when you transform him, you push those in. And also his head armor can fold. So you're going to fold him in. So here all right, so before we do that, and that comes off. So the nice thing about this is, all right, you can just push that right back on. So, you have to worry about losing it, but you don't have to worry about it breaking. But another thing that's nice about these is they have this great articulation in their legs. So you can see here, they have really a lot of joint movement, okay? And they have the fingernails and toenails that modify. So, all right, so what I forgot to do is, see, you fold these out, and you can see underneath, these are going to be other claws for the dinosaur. But while it is in the ceratopsian mode, right, you have these short claws, because it is an herbivore, meaning it does not eat meat, it eats plant material. All right, so he transforms into, that's right, and then there's pull out, right? So you can do that. All right, so he transforms into a Giganotosaurus. Now, one of the things I just want to reiterate, this is not a Triceratops because, one of the differences, the front horn is smaller. As you can see on this more accurate model, this one doesn't even really have a horn here. It's just a little nub of a horn. But you can see that the horns are shaped kind of like a bull. All right, so, and that's the Triceratops. They're straighter and they arch upward. All right, so in order to transform this, you pull this open, you pull that open, and you can see that it has the Giganotosaurus ridge on its back. And then you're going to fold this around. Now, it does have to go in a particular orientation. Now, one thing you got to do is you often got to get the legs out of the way completely so that you can move this piece far enough so that you can rotate the head underneath. And usually the tail, well, this one actually is easy, I think, to fit. Some of them are not so easily fitted. All right, so then you push those around, and now you have your Giganotosaurus, okay? And then you move this around. This is going to become the arm, and then you can pull the claws out for the hand. See that? And then you pull the legs around. But not only do they go around, they extend out to give it longer legs, like a theropod, which is a bipedal dinosaur, meaning it walks on two legs. So theropods are almost always meat eaters, although there is one that actually, if you saw the latest Jurassic World movie, the one with the really long claws, I know the name's is like Theraciazid or something. But you know what I mean, the one that looks like a giant bird that's almost as big as a T-Rex and has gigantic claws. That is a theropod that was thought to be a plant eater because of the teeth that it had. So, all right, so then you flip the toenails out and you get, the more severe looking theropod type of toes, and you pull that leg out and extend that so it has more of the bipedal proportions. And then look at that, you get these great separate interlocking teeth like a crocodile. And you can compare it to our Jurassic World model of a Giganotosaurus, and pretty accurate. Now, the teeth on the fierce changers are actually more fierce. But you can see they did a pretty good job of turning that into a Giganotosaurus and into a Nasutoceratops. All right, so that's number one. And we're going to move next door, and then we have this fella here also transforms between a Baryonyx. Now, this is the Hammond Collection Baryonyx, very good model. All the Hammond Collection models are very accurate to what we know about their skeletal sizes, and they have greater articulation. So you can see it's got that big front, hand fingernail, and then this is again it's a meat-eating bipedal dinosaur. It is a theropod, all right. And so, in the form that it is right now, we have it in the Parasaurolophus. And so here is our Jurassic World Parasaurolophus, and that toy you can manipulate the head by moving the tail, and then it makes a lot of noise. And you can make the head go up and down and left and right and turn it as well. And you have a little bit of hip articulation in this toy, and then you have some shoulder articulation. And this is a bipedal. It can be bipedal, but it also is a quadruped somewhat. So it will support its weight on its hands like this, but then it can get up into a bipedal position to reach food that is higher off the ground. So our fierce changer, all right, is right now in the Parasaurolophus mode. All right, now it doesn't have a leg that pulls out, so you can bend that up like that, and you can see, he's got these orange eyes, and he looks fierce, right? Even though it is a herbivore, he's looking pretty fierce right now, and you can see that the joint articulation is just as good as the other one. All right, so we're going to turn this little fella here into a Baryonyx. You can see that the back is similar to the Baryonyx there. It's kind of like a crocodile. And move these legs out of the way so the pieces, so we can rotate things. They're not in the way. Now, you'll see the tail is on top of the head. So sometimes you have to make sure that when you're putting things inside, that's how it is, or you can't close it. So this might be another one. So, all right, I'm going to turn it like that. So you see the tail is on top of the head, so it will fold underneath. All right, so he filmed. So I did that well. and then we can turn the feet out. Now this one doesn't have 2 feet that turn out. When it was in the Parasaurolophus, you already have the toes kind of molded into the plastic, but when it's in baryonyx mode, you flip these around, and then you get these more fierce theropod feet, and then you pull the arms around, and then you just bend them like that, and there you go. It looks, not a bad rendition. It doesn't have the long, lean body, but they're doing a pretty good job of being able to transform an herbivore into a carnivore, which is the theme for these fierce changers. They all turn from herbivores into carnivores. So that's pretty neat. And they also turn from quadrupeds into bipeds. So they all turn into theropods as well. So, all right, so you can see, let's compare that head. So take a look at that, baryonyx. So, this is more of a childlike, sort of Imaginext level toy, as far as the head and everything. But I think it looks great, and they're just easy to transform and easy to play with, and very durable, very well made. I think these will last, 50 years easily. All right, so let's move a little bit over here. And what do we got here? Well, we have a stegosaur. All right, so here's Stegosaurus, and he looks angry too. I have never seen a Stegosaurus look so angry, but he's angry. And look, he's got his four little spikes on the back, and of course, the tail is kind of short in this. And you try to fold this leg up like this, and so you get this sort of downward posture. If you don't like that, you can take the leg behind it and then fold it like that. You might not like that look either. There's a sacrifice either way. The nice thing about this is then you can get a more of a horizontal posture, but they really don't throw their legs back like that, probably unless they want to stretch. If you have a dog and, they throw their legs back there and stretch, right, when they get up in the morning. So that's what he looks like. All right, so... well, here we have the Jurassic World, I think it's Jurassic World Stegosaurus, the original toy, and you can see pretty big. It's got the spikes on the tail, and this one, let's see, does this one make noise? I don't think, no, this one doesn't make noise. You just push down one of these, all right, and then the tail swings back and forth, and then you push the other one, and the head goes up and down. Now, a lot of times these dinosaur toys come with sound, and a lot of times I have found that the batteries are near dead when you get them. And I don't think it's because they've been sitting on the shelf a long time. I think they put bad batteries that just really weren't in great shape with them. And it can be a little expensive to replace those batteries, but you can go to a dollar store and get them, and then it won't be. But the other thing is, if you're not going to play with them frequently, you don't want to leave the batteries in them, because if they get wet, they can short circuit, or over years, the batteries can then burst on you. And that damages the electrical connections in the battery case, and you have to do some acid cleaning with an orange cleaner, which often works. You can take like a Q-tip with the orange cleaner and clean out the contacts if the batteries burst, and oftentimes you can get it working again. If it corrodes too much, though, then you end up with the trouble with the metals corroded. It becomes another problem. All right, well, so that Stegosaurus turns into Carnotaurus. And if you'll remember, Carnotaurus had some great spots in the movies and also in the animated Netflix series. And the one thing you might notice is this is a tiny little Carnotaurus. I figured I'd bring this one out. This one came with that helicopter set. It's, I think, cute. And he's got some lateral hip articulation. And look, he's got little baby arms right there. And he can open his mouth. So he's got little horns like a bull. And, well, this guy got a broken horn. So, all right. So we are going to turn Stegosaurus, our fierce changer, into a Carnotaurus. So we're going to move those legs out of the way. And open this up. And then open that up. And then you see the head's in there with the tail on top, so it fits. And then we're going to do the same thing here. Tail on top of the head, and then fold that underneath. All right, and then there we have our Carnotaurus. And we're gonna, and all of them, all the carnivores can open their mouths because they're fierce, right? So there he is, and then you kind of bend it so that it looks like he's bending his arms down, and then you just flip out these nails, and there you go. Then you have your Carnotaur nail. And look, you can even see it has an R, and so that's for the right foot, and then that's an L for the left. So when they were putting it together, oh, you can see the L in there too and the R in there. So maybe these were hand put together, and so people would look at it and go, okay, that's for the right and that's for the left. And then let's see, those are the same toenails as they're different color, but those are the same nails, and they also have the R and the L as our baryonyx. Okay, that's fine. And there we go. There's Carnotaurus, and let's compare that fellow there to the head there. So it's got the short muzzle, just like he does have. So really, not a bad looking model, right? Pretty good. Coloring, some of the same coloring. And I'd say that the Fierce Changer, again, angrier looking. So, and the mouth, if you'll notice, it doesn't have interlocking teeth. The teeth go inside the top jaw, and the upper jaw teeth overlap the lower jaw. And you can see that that is also accurate to the Jurassic World model. All right, so we've done with that, and then we're going to move on to our Ankylosaur. All right, we have an Ankylosaur Fierce Changer. And there you go, there's Ankylosaur, and he's kind of cute. Now, this one, I didn't find that it was really kind of difficult to get it to bend, to have the right height. So I did take those back legs and just put them out the back, because otherwise it's like he's sticking his tail really high in the air, which, maybe if he's being attacked, he might do that. But here is our Hammond collection Ankylosaur. And if you don't have one of these, this is, again, the Hammond collection, just great models. And a lot of times you can find these on clearance in places, and that's usually what I do. And look, he even can open his mouth a little bit. Now, he's an herbivore, okay, and got lots of spikes, so he doesn't get, eaten. And ironically, one of the predators of Ankylosaurus was a T-Rex. And our Ankylosaurus Fierce Changer turns into a little T-Rex. So let's show you that. So get those legs out of the way and pop that open. This one, you really got to get that back out of the way. All right, we're going to turn that head around, get that tail in the right spot. Boom. And then turn that arm around, fold that leg, and then we undo. There we go. We get our fierce nails for the T-Rex. Now, it's a little tiny T-Rex, isn't it? And then we're going to bend that, and then now it is a theropod. All right, and then there's our T-Rex, and it has the similar lower jaw is more narrow than the top, so it's shearing force like scissors. You have the bottom teeth that, just like the Carnotaurus, and the top teeth that they don't interlock. Usually, teeth that interlock are on animals that grab things that are really quick and slippery, and so they won't get away. So like crocodiles eat mostly fish. That's one of the things they eat the most of, crocodiles and alligators. So they kind of have an interlocking teeth design. Whereas a T-Rex or Carnotaurus, they are bone breakers. So they can bite into things, and also they shear off large hunks of meat on their prey. So the teeth act like scissors. So the large teeth, and on the top and the bottom, they interlock, they overlap, and they shear like a scissor when they bite. So they're going to take off. I know it's kind of gruesome, but they're going to take off like a big chunk. Now, here is my green T-Rex, which you maybe you've never seen. Um, I've done so many shows on dinosaurs. I don't always remember which ones made it to what show, but I love the green T-Rex because when I was a little kid, whenever they would have books on T-Rex, he wasn't brown, he was green. And now they show him in all kinds of colors. But this one is the medium-sized T-Rex toy, and you can open his mouth, and there, you push on the head here, and the mouth opens, and he's like really, really opening wide. And so I brought out the green one because our Fierce Changer is brown and green, right? But one of the problems with this is, as we all know, and I'm sure you do, T-Rex only has 2 fingers, right, on his little tiny arms. And, well, because this is a Fierce Changer, and it changes into the Ankylosaurus, it has 3 fingers on the front. So it really would not be a T-Rex having 3 fingers. Okay, so some of the other dinosaurs, like Giganotosaurus and Baryonyx, those dinosaurs do have 3 fingers. But, they're just compromising there. So we're going to have to go with this is the rare 3-fingered T-Rex. All right. So he's, T-Rex fearsome, but he's tiny. Well, our next large Fierce Changer is this one here. So there's the manufacturer only has 2 larger ones and 3 smaller ones. So this is our Brachiosaur, right? And you can see this is also a quadruped, and he is a plant eater. But despite that, he looks really angry. Now, we have back here, you can see, looking over at the table there, is just the head of the Brachiosaurus, the Jurassic Park Brachiosaurus. And I'm going to move around, and you're going to see, if you haven't seen this toy, it's gigantic. All right, so there you go. It's about around 4 feet long, and the head will go down and the legs will move. This is not the Hammond Collection one. This is the regular one that came out. And, one of the things I've realized, do I want the Hammond Collection? I would have wanted it if I didn't already have this one. Hey, you can open his mouth. The thing is one of the things about large toys, like large Transformers and large dinosaurs, if they're too big, you kind of end up not really playing with them. They're too big to do anything with, except look at. So you'd set up your Brachiosaurus and maybe look at it. Now, I guess if you're a little kid, you're going to have Brachiosaurus stomp on the other dinosaurs, and then the other dinosaurs are going to team up and go after them. And I can see that. But, a lot of times when things get a lot bigger than your hands, you end up not playing with them. So, how many times do you want a toy that's going to be so big you won't play with? All right, so Brachiosaur here turns into the imaginary dinosaur, the Indoraptor. And here is the Indoraptor from Jurassic World, what is that, number 2, right? The second in the Jurassic World series. And this is a highly articulated Indoraptor. And like this guy, you can, he has 3 different things, well, 4 things actually. So you have a lever here, right here on his back, and you can pull that, and look, he can kind of move his front legs like little claws. So you can imagine the manufacturing of this, what's inside, like you have to have little plastic, probably long pieces that connect to this, and then they pull on it and make it do something. And then you can move the tail back and forth, and then that, you can turn and twist the body and the head, the front torso, and make it go up and down, and you make the front torso go up and down, so that's really neat. And then you have a button here, and that makes the mouth open and close. And look at how far away. So the button's all the way back here on the tail, and you push that, and that makes the mouth bite. Okay, and so you'd have to have a connection between this button, a piece of plastic or something that's flexible that goes all the way there and pulls the mouth shut, which is kind of neat. It also can make noise. So it has a speaker You can put batteries in it, and it will roar. And I think this is also the one where the eyes light up. Now, the batteries died, and I didn't feel like putting new ones in because I don't really play with this. It mainly is just to look at. And one of the things about it is it's not a real dinosaur. This is an imaginary dinosaur that the storyline, they mixed all kinds of DNA to make a giant, intelligent raptor. It's not a real dinosaur, and I kind of only like to play with real dinosaurs. It's sort of like Hot Wheels cars. You can collect Hot Wheels cars and Matchbox cars that are real cars that really existed, or you can buy like crazy, silly ones that never existed. And when I was younger, I liked all the crazy, silly ones, and as I got older, I'm like, you know what? I think I just really only like the real ones, which every once in a while I'll buy a really cool, imaginary one, because people do make cars that nobody's ever seen. They make like their own custom car. But for the most part, I like things that, as far as dinosaurs that have existed, and those are going to be the things that I'm going to have on display more. All right, so how does the Brachiosaur turn into the Indoraptor? Well, just like all the others, you can see it's folded in there. And got to get these legs out of the way. All right. This one's neat too, though. You have to push the head in. Yep, because it's got the long neck. So you push the neck in, and it unfolds in there. And then we're going to rotate that and get that tail out of the way. And again, we have the head and we have the tail. Let's see. I think actually it's the other way. I think I got to do this one backwards, like that, okay? And then that's going to close, and then you can close the back, and then look at this. You pull the tail out, and the tail gets longer. Now you have a long tail for a theropod tail, and the legs even extend out for your theropod legs. And I did forget to show you, this is the short Brachiosaur toes in the back, and then you just flip out the Indoraptor toes and then fold the Brachiosaur short toes in. So here, you can get that. Try to get that in there. And there you go. And then that leg comes out. Okay, so now we have we lengthen the legs so it is a bipedal theropod proportion. And then we fold this arm around, and then you can pull the fingernails out so they're more fierce on our theropod. All right, our Indoraptor. And the Indoraptor has the interlocking teeth, which makes him more likely to be a fish eater. And look, you have your individual teeth that can move around. And I believe the Giganotosaurus also has, it also has the tail that pulls out. And I didn't do that before. I forgot to pull that out. So there you go. You have the lengthening tail. And you both have the interlocking teeth. And you can see the mouth designs are different on both. This has longer teeth on the bottom than our Giganotosaurus. The Giganotosaurus has longer, slightly, maybe the same on the top. But anyway, both cool looking dinosaurs. You can see the heads are different. They didn't just stamp out the same mold and just color it differently. Look at the texturing of the head, and the body is different, the back. And, you can compare it to our Indoraptor, our Jurassic World Indoraptor here. And again, great model. And when you close the mouth on the Indoraptor, you have the interlocking teeth on our model. Oh, look at that. They stick together. And so there you go. So hopefully you found these to be as fantastic as I did, and you can go and get some. So like I said, they're quite a deal on sale. So enjoy. All right, it was great showing you this, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.